You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Fasten your seatbelt and get ready for episode 117 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey gang, I've got a special episode here for you, all about DragonCon and the road trip to get there. What this is all about, 2019 is apparently the year of road trips. You'll remember back in May, I went on the father-son's road trip out to the East Coast. Well, I'm at the very tail end of pretty much a 10-day road trip all around the world here. Friday, August the 23rd, after work, me and my friend Sarah decided that we were going to go to my good friend Frank and Martha's wedding in Mattawa. So Friday after work, what we did was we drove down to North Bay area and stayed with my cousin Megan. Hadn't seen her in a while, so it was good to see her and her kids and her husband and their farmland and whatnot. And so we stayed there Friday night. Saturday afternoon, we drove down to Mattawa, about an hour away. And that evening at 6 o'clock, Frank and Martha had a lovely outside ceremony. The weather couldn't have been better. It was just absolutely amazing. If you follow me on Facebook, you can look up Frank and Martha's wedding. Great pictures, great ceremony, just all around fantastic. They're a great couple. On the Sunday, we were still staying in Mattawa, but we took a day trip to Deep River, where I got to see one of my university roommates, Dave, and he lives in Deep River, and hadn't seen him in years and years. About 10 years ago in 2009, when the Star Trek movie came out, Burger King had a promotion for cups, and of course the Burger King had closed down in Timmins, so I had asked Dave to pick up the cups for me so I could have some promotional items for the movie. And I hadn't seen him since I had asked him, so it had been 10 years. And so he gave me the cups, and we went to What Do You Collect? That's the geek store in Deep River. Got a few things there. It was pretty awesome. So hung out with him, had some lunch at J&A's Takeaway, I think it was called. Friendly staff. They gave us a pie to take with us, and they were super friendly. So if you're ever in Deep River, go to... believe it's J&A's Takeaway. It's in one of the stores, right, Sarah?
Yes, it's at the dollar store, not the one by the Click store, but the one about 2 minutes away from it. Okay,
so that was fun. So we drove back to Mattawa after seeing Dave, and then hung out with Frank and Martha for the evening, and then
ate more food.
Lots more food. Yeah, it was good times. So Monday morning we checked out of the hotel there in Mattawa. And where did we go? We drove all the way down through Toronto and over the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit in the rain and in the dark, and made it to Flat Rock, Michigan.
Yep.
At about 9:30 at night in the pouring rain and the dark. And luckily the Beaumont Inn and Suites had vacancy. We stopped there and crashed for the night. Got up again, and it was Tuesday morning, and I think we drove until 9 o'clock that night? 9:30 and made it to Mike and Judy's place just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. So we went through 5 states that day.
Yeah, we ended up in Roswell, Atlanta, not Roswell, New Mexico, so no aliens came aboard.
No, luckily. So we hung out with them for about an hour, and then we went to bed because we were wiped out.
Completely.
Wednesday, we went to Little Five Points in downtown Atlanta. Great little cultural hub, I would guess. And I got to meet Kine from episode 41 of Soul Forge podcast. That was the expert on love, fame, and money. So we hung out for about 2 or 3 hours, and she took us around, and we ate at the Vortex.
Must go, everybody. You hear that? You all have to go to this place called the Vortex.
Best fries ever. The burgers were amazing. The decor was fantastic.
You have to be 21 to get in, though, listeners. Keep this in mind. No children.
But awesome
hands
atmosphere.
down.
Everything was great. The service was impeccable. The people in Atlanta are so friendly. It was amazing.
Mind-blowing how friendly they are. We had heard mixed reviews, and no, not a rude soul.
It's awesome. And so we went for DragonCon. It started Thursday, and what I discovered about down south, sweet tea.
Shawn loves sweet tea.
It's my new favorite drink. It's not like iced tea like we get in Canada. It's actually brewed, and they pour all kinds of sugar in it, and then
it's hot.
Well, it's hot, yes, that's right. And then they bring it to you with ice in it, and it's still warm, but it cools down because of the ice, and it's amazing. I can't get it in Canada. I'm sure we could make it.
We can get it in Canada, but it's not
in every restaurant.
No, it's not in restaurants because it's not typical. So they said sweet teas like our Snapple, Gold Peak, or Pure Leaf.
Right. So that was my new discovery, and great people, so many friendly faces. We went to DragonCon Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There must have been
a little though on Thursday for DragonCon.
Yeah, we did. I guess there was over 100,000 people probably attending the thing. It was just packed, but
30,000 more than last year.
We think.
They
haven't released official numbers, but quite a bit of people. But the people I met, finally, I met Kine, I met Jarman from A Play on Nerds. We've known each other for over 5 years from the podcast world, but we finally got to meet and hang out a few times.
That's exciting.
That was awesome. I met Robert J. Sawyer, my favorite author.
Hi, my name's Robert J. Sawyer. I'm an award-winning science fiction writer, and you're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Don't forget to follow them on Twitter.
He did a panel, and I met him afterwards. You'll recognize him from episode 13 of the Rusted Robot Podcast. So I shook his hand, and we took a picture together. That was awesome. I got to see the Star Trek Discovery panel. We saw Anson Mount, Bohannon from Hell on Wheels. We saw Anson Mount. We saw Ethan Peck, who played the new Spock. We saw Mary Chieffo, who played L'Rell, and Shazad Latif, who played Tyler or Volk. So that was awesome. There was the George Takei panel, Mr. Sulu, and it was moderated by Garrett Wong, who played Harry Kim on Voyager. We went to the Arrowverse panel and saw the guy who played Quentin Lance and Roy Palmer and Steele from the Legends of Tomorrow. And then we went to the boys panel.
And got to see the Butcher and the Kid.
Carl Urban and Jack Quaid.
Exciting.
Yeah. We didn't get to see David Tennant. The lines was too long. And we left before William Shatner got there. But just absolutely amazing. I got to meet all the people, or most of the people from the ESO Network.
Yes.
So Mike and Judy hosted us. We met Mary. We met the other Mike, Howdy Mike. Met Kevin from the Flopcast, Chris from the Nerd Bliss, Thomas from Double Edge, Double Bill, and more that I'm probably forgetting. But the highlight of this episode, folks, is we got to record a little bit with Jarman. So what you're going to hear is there's two recordings here that I'm going to play for you. The first one, we went to his hotel room after hanging out at the boys panel, and we recorded a little bit, but then all his
flatmates, roommates for the weekend
showed up.
Home.
So we went into the hallway to record, and the sounds are a little bit echoey because of the hallway, and people show up. So you'll hear a bunch of weird stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and play that for you, and we'll be right back. Hey, Jarman.
Hey, Shawn.
How the hell's it going?
It's going well.
We're here live at DragonCon 2019.
We are, and you made a long trek to get here.
I did, because I had to drive 22 plus hours over 2 days so I could meet you in person after 5 years of knowing you podcast-wise.
That's ridiculous. And I've been fortunate to meet a few of the podcasting friends that are on this show as well, like Paul Wright, who just recorded your last Rusted Robot podcast. Yes. He came down to Disney, because I live in Orlando, and people come to Disney all the time, so I got to meet him. That was fun. But yeah, this is crazy.
Yes, so it's been, 5 years? Ish.
Oh my God,
5
years.
plus
And
years.
your show's gone through a lot in 5 years.
It certainly has. But how did we meet? Was it through 10 Forward podcast?
It must have been, yeah. And I've
so.
met so many people through that one podcast.
That's what got us going.
And apparently it's coming back-ish?
I've heard rumors.
From Daniel Peter Hitch is going to do some episodes or something?
Yes, because he listened to the episode of Soulforge where I talked about how to start your own podcast, and it inspired him.
Well, look at that. Soulforge doing more for people.
Right? That's what it's all about, Jarman.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we met for the first time, 2 or 3 nights ago?
Yep.
And it's awesome. Get to meet you in person. I met Mike and Mike from the ESO Network in person for realsies this time.
So you met the one guy from ESO who has that very droll voice. Who's on a lot of the promos and such.
Right.
It's a very unique voice. That's how I didn't listen to his podcast before, but he has that very unique
voice. There's regular Mike and then there's Howdy Mike.
Howdy Mike, okay.
Yeah, and came down to Georgia and stayed at Mike and Judy's house. They were kind enough to set us up and let us stay in their place. And then I met you. Who else did we meet here?
I don't know. Well, we met Carl Urban.
Yeah, we just came back from the Carl Urban podcast panel of The Boys.
The Boys.
I got to do all the panels that I wanted to do.
The robot panel you did today. What was that?
Just a bunch of people
talking about building robots?
Yeah, or what they are for in the future for real life.
What's important? Rusted Robot podcast needs more robots.
That's right. I got to meet Robert J. Sawyer in person yesterday. Favorite author.
Past guest in the podcast.
Past guest on episode 13 of Rusted Robot. Yeah.
That's right.
Took a selfie with him and met him for real.
Oh, and we have guests. Hello. This will be an outtake for the podcast.
There you go. Yeah,
so we're currently sitting in a room with 6 people for a DragonCon because you share the room.
That's me being more than 6.
Maybe we'll pick this up in a bit.
Did you know the ESO Network has a brand new Patreon? That's right, we're asking for your help, and you could do it for as little as $1 a month. Don't fret, all your favorite shows will still be available for free as always, but you can get exclusive podcasts and more not heard anywhere else but on our Patreon. To sign up for the ESO Network Patreon's easy. All you have to do is go to esopodcast.com and click on the link. With your support of the ESO Network, it's you who will reap the rewards.
All right, so we were interrupted because the party came to our room, and we had to continue the podcast in a hallway.
We're in the hallway.
Why are you guys in the hallway?
What?
We're recording. That's all.
Bye.
Bye.
What the fuck? Why are you leaving? But now I get it.
I've never seen her drunk before. She's cute enough.
She's cute. Okay.
Anyways, I'll cut that out. So the party came to our room with several of my friends that drove up from Orlando for DragonCon, and we're all staying in a room with 6 people, so it's a little bit congested. So we're out in the hallway now.
Now we're in the hallway recording.
Sounds a little echoey, but that's okay.
Yeah. How long did it take you to drive up?
It's 6.5 hours from Orlando.
Okay.
So not as bad as your 27 or whatever hours.
It was a lot of hours. So you escaped the hurricane?
Just barely. So Hurricane Dorian is coming into Orlando right now, and so I'm going to be trapped in Atlanta. I can't drive back with my friends. I'm going to fly back around Thursday and stay with some friends in Atlanta because Hurricane Dorian is going to hit hard. No, it's okay. I'm sorry. We're commandeering the hallway. We have nowhere to go. Enjoy your con. So you're staying at the Ritz, I believe.
Yes, it's very fancy. The Ritz-Carlton. Mm-hmm.
But not too pricey, surprisingly.
I have no idea. Mike paid for the room.
That's amazing.
So I have to give him something.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes, we appreciate it a lot.
The shout out is all he needs.
Mike from the ESO Network.
That's right.
Yes, host of Earth Station 1 and Earth Station Who.
And we'll play a bumper right here for them.
Look, we know it's a long time till Doctor Who comes back on the air.
Sorry.
But your friends here at the Earth Station Who podcast are here to help.
That's right. Mike, and Mary will be your guide through this wilderness year with reviews of classic stories, audios, and even some group discussions featuring some special guests.
Join us for new episodes every other week up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
The Earth Station Who podcast, exploring over 50 years of the Doctor Who universe.
There you go, which was awesome. Yeah. So it's just good to finally meet you in person. I did all the panels that I wanted to do. I got to see Robert Sawyer. I got to see the Star Trek Discovery panel.
Oh, we both did it together. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kind of together. You were sitting farther away from me, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we had Spock, and we had Captain Pike, and we had, who else was there?
Shazad Latif and Mary Chiefo.
Yes.
Emily Coots.
Was supposed to be there.
Lieutenant Detmer was supposed to be there, and she wasn't. That was very sad.
It was sad.
Anson Mount, amazing guy.
Such
hilarious.
An amazing guy. And he's a podcast, apparently.
Yeah, he has a podcast.
I had no idea he had a
called
podcast.
The Well.
The Well. It's kind of like creativity, apparently. So it's kind of related to Soul Forge a little bit that way. But being a creative person and talent and pulling from your well, I guess.
I guess that's what it is. I haven't listened to it.
But he's a gorgeous man, on a straight man, but man, that's a good looking man.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah,
yes,
good looking
guy.
guy.
Yeah, totally.
Like dashing like a George Clooney or something like that.
But better.
But better,
I don't find George Clooney.
Yeah, not really.
No,
I'm more Ransom Mount guy.
Yeah, totally Ransom Mount. Yeah, but did that, and that was Friday, and today's Saturday?
Yeah.
Yes.
What day is it? Yeah.
It's hard to keep track.
Yeah.
So I went and saw The Boys.
Mm-hmm.
You were there. Carl Urban and Jack Wade.
Great show, great panel.
Before that, I saw George Takei's panel, moderated by Garrett Wong.
Oh, nice. Of Voyager fame.
Ensign Harry Kim himself.
Mm-hmm.
I did something else this morning too, which I can't remember anymore.
The robot thing.
Well, there was a robot thing.
So much in one day.
Yeah, I can't keep it all.
So Garrett Wong, folks, from Voyager, Ensign Harry Kim, as you said, he's actually in charge of the fan track at DragonCon, organizing all the events and getting the guests. He's actually the head of the Trek track at DragonCon, which I don't know how much work he actually does for that, but apparently he's the figurehead of it. He's here every single year, and he's a lot of fun. He's a fun guy. I had a picture taken with him several years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's good times.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think Shatner's here this year, too.
He comes in tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
He's here Sunday, Monday, but I have to leave Sunday morning.
Gotcha.
For the 22, 24, 25-hour drive back home.
Right.
So.
But he usually tells the same stories every time. So if you watch one on YouTube, you've kind of seen them all. And at this age, he's kind of just repeating the same things.
Yeah, he's like 86 or 88 or 89 or something.
Yeah, props to him for still coming out.
Mm-hmm. He needs the money, apparently.
But he has a new show, too, I think, on TV. Something
Really?
like a Mysteries of the World kind of show or something like that.
Oh, he's always doing one of those.
Yeah,
kind of
he's got another one,
yeah.
apparently.
I don't know.
Cashing those checks.
That's what he does. That's it.
So for me at DragonCon, typically it means there's parties here that go until 5:30 in the morning. And I'm getting a little older, 33 years old now, and it's a little hard. Yeah, youngling compared to you, I guess, but it's still fun to go out, but my body can't handle it anymore. So, but I recommend all you folks come to Atlanta, drive the 27 hours, make it happen.
And this is DragonCon number what for you?
I think 8.
Okay.
My 8th DragonCon.
There's so many people here. It's hard to move around.
It's getting a little crazy.
But the experience itself, absolutely amazing.
Oh, good. I'm glad it's worth it for you driving this far.
You know what? It's totally worth it because I got to see the celebrities. There's another panel that I saw today that I can't remember, but I know I took pictures of it. It's all a blur.
Whatever it was.
Whatever it was good.
And you've gone to bed at what time every night?
11:30.
Oh, that's not too bad. All right.
Yeah, we're being a bunch of losers and going to bed early. Everybody's staying up and partying until what, 2 or 3 in the morning?
5 in the morning.
5 in the morning?
Yep.
Well, my regular bedtime's 10 o'clock, so I'm doing okay.
Nice, yeah.
And sleeping on an air mattress, which is super uncomfortable.
Yes, I'm in the same thing, sleeping on an air mattress. That's part of the con game, guys. Unless you get a lot of money and you book things ahead of time, you can get a nice bed.
And I'm an old man. In 3 days, I'll be 43, so.
Well, you look young. You're pulling it off, sir.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm no Carl Urban or Anson Mount, but
apparently he's just aging gracefully. I need to do that too.
That's it.
But for next year, I'm really trying to hold you to this. That we'll save up money and go do this again next year.
Next year, you think so?
But make you fly next time.
That would be a better idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of it like the week before and then say, hey, I'm going to go. You know.
Exactly.
Better plan it for a year next time.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a wise idea.
And I will fly up to Timmins and go to the
Northern Ontario Timmins Comic Con.
That's right.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's every April usually.
So if I go to Timmins, what else am I going to experience? What should I do when I'm in Timmins?
Oh, Timmins is the land that culture forgot, so you won't experience anything.
I heard there's a great comic shop there, though.
There is.
What's it called?
It's called, what is it? It's Jump City.
Oh, Jumps? I've heard of that.
It's at 38 Pine Street North.
It's in a mall, I believe.
It's in the 101 mall.
Well, look at that.
In the lower level.
I was halfway there.
You were. You're halfway there now because you came up from Florida to Georgia, so you're...
I might as well keep driving.
You might as well.
And go to that comic shop and buy some things.
Why don't you just hop in my car and come back with me?
All right, you convinced me. What car are you driving?
Mazda 3.
Isn't that a sports car?
No.
Oh, I thought a Mazda 3 was a sports car.
My car is not a sports car. It's a 2012 Mazda 3.
All right.
It's black. It's 4 doors, 4-cylinder. It's got no get up and go.
But it gets the job done.
It got me here.
Yeah, it's not breaking down.
No, and it's full of geek stickers. I was gonna drive it in the parade, but I didn't.
Oh, that would be great.
Mm-hmm.
It's too early, the parade. Just sleep through it.
Yeah. Oh, so many people.
Oh, and the parade, they put on the CW, the channel. It's actually locally played here throughout all of Atlanta, so people can watch the DragonCon parade. It's amazing. But I drove it for in a minivan. It was great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very comfortable.
Very roomy.
Yep.
The Arrowverse. That was the other panel.
You would see a lot of people from the Arrowverse?
Yes.
Oh, I'm jealous. I wanted to see that.
The guy who played Quentin Lance.
Yep.
The guy
British
who played,
guy.
Yeah, Paul Blackthorne.
Yep.
Roy Harper, actor Colton Haynes.
He seemed like he's a short guy. He seemed like it anyways.
I couldn't tell. They were sitting down. Nick Zano, who plays Steel on Legends.
Guy turns into metal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then 2 ladies from there as well. Zazu, or they're
one of the newer characters, probably.
What was her name? Tella Ash. I think.
She has one of the wind power or whatever.
I don't know, and just somebody. there was 2 ladies.
How very sexist of you to forget the female characters. I'm forgetting 2 though. I can't remember.
It's hard to keep everything in your head.
It's true.
It's
There's too many
overwhelming.
shows.
Not enough sleep. Too many people. Not
Really,
enough
you're
food.
just watching that one show with Anson Mount.
Yeah.
That's all you're watching right now.
Pretty much. I haven't watched the Arrowverse in the last year and a half.
Damn.
So.
And all Josh watches is Flash.
I think so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out to Josh. You're not here. You're missing out.
Big time. And we just came from seeing the boys panel, and you've seen all the show?
I have.
Okay, I've seen 3 episodes.
There's only 8.
8, yeah.
5 more left.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very much worth it. Very gory, some nudity, a lot of touchy subjects.
A lot of swearing.
A lot of swearing. But it's like the gritty world of superheroes if they really existed in our world. And it's definitely worth watching.
Very dense.
Yes, very dense.
Lots of jam-packed.
But good comedy in it too, to like relieve
Totally.
things. And Elizabeth Shue is in it, who I haven't seen in a long time.
Adventures in Babysitting.
That was her first movie or whatever, like a TV show? Was it a TV show?
That was a movie from, I believe, 1987.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, where she had to babysit these kids, and they went on adventures, and there was a character named Thor in the film, and he was like a mechanic or something. I don't know.
But she was great back in the day, and she's still a gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Worth watching.
Totally.
So what are you going to do tonight at DragonCon for your last night here?
I think there's some kind of ESO get-together playing Cards Against Humanity or something.
Great game.
I'm not 100% sure if that's what we're doing.
Have you played that before?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great game.
It's a lot of fun.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Bonding with the cast and crew of ESO.
Exactly.
I will never join the ESO, but I appreciate what they're doing.
You won't?
I won't.
Oh, I was going to introduce you to Mike so you could talk about joining.
Oh, really?
I thought you guys
You're trying to
should
convert me, huh?
Well, you know what? I think you'd make a great addition to the ESO network.
I mean, it's like one of us or part of the board or something.
Well, all you have to do is play a promo for another show.
That's true. Not much of a commitment.
No, that's it. So
there you go. And meet up at DragonCon.
And who doesn't want to do that?
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
So this is going to become a yearly thing, hopefully.
Hopefully.
You'll hear from me and Shawn once a year for the annual DragonCon report.
There you go.
We'll sit in a hallway.
Yes.
And we'll be drinking and talking about DragonCon.
That's right. And I'm recording with my microphone on my iPhone, so hopefully the microphone picks it up.
Yes.
It's
There's not too much echo.
It's very echoey.
Yes. But we're kicked out of our room because there's crazy people in there right now.
That's right.
Well, this is a lot of fun, Shawn.
A lot of fun, Jarman.
Hopefully we'll do it again.
I think we will.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So, hope you enjoyed that meeting with Jarman. If you're not listening to a Play on Nerds podcast, you really should be. Overall, Sarah, how would you say the weekend was?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh God, at least a 20, if not more. I'm already wanting DragonCon 2020, and that's very optimistic because it's a long ride, but it's if you can do it, do it.
Yep. So
at least once.
At least 22 hours there. 22 hours back. We're in the middle of day one of our trip back. We just stopped
It's like 9 o'clock at night. We're at the Super 8. No,
Super 6.
Oh, we're at the Motel 6. I don't recommend staying at the Motel 6. If you've seen the movie Rubber, Robert the Tire would not stay here himself. So this is a complete dive, but it was the first one that we saw, and I was exhausted from driving, so I had to stop here. It's gross. It's disgusting.
But it's a bed.
It kind of. It should be condemned. But here we are. Never stay at the Motel 6. We know better for next time if we ever come back this way.
Who knows? Maybe other Motel 6s are better, but right now I'm going to say no. But
Don't stay at the Motel 6 in Findlay, Ohio. That's right. But anyway, that's your DragonCon 2019 road trip report. Go check out my Facebook page if you haven't already. If you're not following me, you should be. Check out the album that I created for DragonCon 2019. It's amazing.
There will be more loaded to that because we're sure that we will be stealing pictures from our host.
Yep.
Because we have all ours, but we probably have some that they took or that we want.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks for coming by the Forge for this DragonCon report road trip spectacular. So if you have never been to Atlanta, Georgia, you definitely owe yourself to go there one time. Go to a convention, go to DragonCon, go to San Diego Comic-Con, go to a con. It's amazing. The people that you'll meet, the experiences that you'll have, simply incredible. I only have 2 words to sum it up. As George Takei would say, oh my. This has been another episode of the SoulForge Podcast. Find us on Twitter at SoulForgePod or email the show via soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. SoulForge is a production of Shawn Vanderloo and Friends. You can find Shawn on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. Remember to visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links and share the show with everyone you know. Thanks for stopping by the Forge. We'll keep the fires lit until your next visit.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.